So today I'm in my T20 on SU, and this is standard battle. Both teams are pretty evenly balanced. The other team has a TOG and a pretty good A43, but the TOG is brand new because the stats haven't popped into XVM yet. And I went up to do that to get some early spots, and it appears that I spotted a T67, and he doesn't seem to know I'm there until I put a shot into him, and he pulls back.
Let's find another target.
So I sit here, and then I see this T1 come around, and he shoots the wall, and then I'm expecting to take a shot here, but I must have ammo racked him or something, because he didn't shoot back at me when he had the chance, which is kind of odd considering that most of the time people in that situation would try to shoot a shot at you as fast as they could. And right here I try to shoot through the hard object. It won't collapse because it's a harder object, so my shell won't travel through it and do damage, so my shell just destroyed it. So now I'm just sitting here debating my options, and then I see what the VK is doing, and I decide to follow him once I see the SU100 isn't going that direction. So I follow the VK around. And we drive up to here. I debate turning in there with the VK, but I choose not to. I keep going with this E25, and then I turn here when I see that the TOG is there, because the TOG has a lot of hit points and very weak armor, and my gun will punch right through his armor consistently. So I come up here, and then I come up to shoot the TOG, and then instead I spot an Achilles, so I shoot the Achilles, pull back before the TOG can shoot me. He does hit me, but thankfully my tracks absorb the shock. So right now I'm pulling back so that way the TOG can't come around that corner and annihilate me with the 17-pounder gun that it has. So I pull back to here. I see the Stuart Emile in the background. I try to line up a shot on him. I line it up. I'm afraid he's going to return fire, but he puts a shot into the other tank over there. So I decide now to go for the TOG. So I check my flank to make sure it's clear, and then I come in to shoot the TOG right in the side. So I shoot him in the side, pull back so he can't shoot at me. See, he's reversing backwards to get that E25 that's behind him. So I drive up to put some shells into him. So I put another shell into the TOG. He's turning his turret now, so I pull forward to avoid the fire. But he gets destroyed before that, and that's game over now. So that was about 1200 damage. So yeah. So this game I'm in my SU-122-44 again. And I tell my team to secure J3, because I know that if a tank gets to that spot, it will not only do a lot of damage to our team, but it could very well mean a game for us at that point, because that position is such a good area. So I go over there to snipe with my TD, since that's what it is. So I aim over here at this nukes. I don't aim my shot in, so it goes wide. And then I back up here, and then I turn over there because I think we're going to spot something, and our scout spotted a Ram too. So I'm waiting, and then I shoot, but I miss. So I turn over, look at this J Panther, and I thought it was going to be one of those games where I was missing, and then I hit that shell, and that gave me my confidence back that I could hit something now. So now I'm waiting, and then the Ram 2 gets his track shot off. So I fire a shell and kill him. And then this Luke's is trying to juke our scout that's over there. So they're doing that, and then a Panther M10 gets spotted. So I start following him with my shots, and then he gets up on that ridge, and he just gets annihilated there. There was really nothing that he really could have probably done to survive that other than not going up there. And then I see this Tiger, and I shoot him right in the center of the gun mantlet for some reason. when I should have shot just to the side of the gun mantlet, because the gun mantlet on the Tiger has enough. It doesn't have that much armor if you shoot to the wider edges of it, but if you shoot straight at it, it has a lot of armor, which is what I did, so it wasn't that good of a spot to aim. And now I'm sitting here, and I'm basically just going to camp here for a few minutes, just zooming in and out, looking at that E25 over there. And there wasn't a whole lot that I was doing here besides just going, okay, let's think. And then I saw this Tiger 1 put in chat, should we cross now? And I said no. And then our AMX M445 says, nobody on hill means 8 guys over there. And I agree with him, and I hit affirmative. And then, so that keeps basically our entire team from one of our higher tier tanks from going across the field, just YOLO moding it. So finally we see some action in the form of a Tiger 1 over there. So I decided to leave my position to go shoot at him and support this E25 who's on dwindling hell. So I come over here, and then I'm waiting, and then I fire the shell when it's only half aimed, which is one of those things with the Russian guns. They tend to do that because, well, if any of you guys are familiar with the Mighty Jingles, he has a theory on it, and his theory is Stalin reaches his hand up from hell and guides your shot when you give enough distance to him, which I kind of support that theory. Well, actually, I do support that theory because I just support that theory, okay? But as you guys just saw, that Tiger 1 and that IS are now hogging that corner, so even if the Tiger 1 pops up again, I can't really do much because they'll pop out to shoot him. So I'm sitting here and I'm just waiting for something to happen so I can get a bit more damage in. So I'm sitting here and I'm just waiting, just casually, just whistling the time away. And I believe that during this battle I was playing some music in the background, so I was probably just singing along to my music or something while I was sitting there waiting. But then I noticed that the north flank is about to fall, so I charge up there to go support it, because this, as you saw in my video of this tank in Ensk where I got 3k damage, it's a nimble enough tank, and right here it's sit in the open for too long, so I use my repair kit to get my tracks back up and get to cover. But as I was saying, as you guys saw in my video about this tank in Ensk, it's not a slow tank, but it's not a quick tank. It's like some of the higher tier British mediums. It's got an engine that doesn't make you go very fast. It just keeps you at a steady speed. So that's basically what I would call this tank. It has an engine that will let you go at a certain speed and stay at that speed for a while. But that's off the topic right now. So, as you guys just saw, I was taking shots. I'm guessing at this point that they're from that T-37 because they were bouncing. And the only other tank they could be coming from is the Griller, and I don't think the Griller can shoot AP rounds. I think he only has HE and heat rounds. And the reason I can say that is because I know that the SU-12244 was up there, and I know that the Tiger had just tracked me, and then I saw that the T-29 was up there, and I put two and two together, and knowing the Tiger isn't that quick, I knew it had to be the T-37, and since the Griller doesn't have AP rounds, it had to be the T-37. So that was just some simple steps. So right here, I just camp for a little bit. waiting for the enemy to make a mistake, because right now the game's fairly even. It's 4 of us versus 4 of them. So right now we're just waiting. And then the Wolverine on our team says Noob SU. And he's a better player than me, but I tell him to shut up because he's dead and I'm still alive. So I basically just... I told him to be quiet because he was dead, and I'm a good enough player that I'm not able to carry a whole lot of games, I'll admit that. I'm not the best player in the game, but I'm not the worst. So I know when I'm sitting in the open, I'm taking a risk, but I also know that if I'm telling him to shut up, I won't be distracted reading chat, and I can focus on the battle. So, basically by telling him to shut up, I'm helping myself get zoned in, and right here I aim, shots barely aimed, and the Stalin theory of the Russian accuracy appears again, and guides the shell, and then I see that the tiger is spotted in the lower corner. So I sit here, try to get a shot, I'm aiming, I finally get it somewhat near, and then I shoot him. So he's dead now. But as you can see, that's one of the things with this map. If you have tanks that are paying attention, and they can get shots into other tanks, it just ruins the defenses and or hit points of another team if they get spotted. So that's one of the key things. But right now we're hunting for the griller, and we spot him. So I'm sitting here, I fire a shell, it's too high though, so since this tank is a good reload, I'm like, okay, I can aim ahead a little bit. So I aim up again, it's a bit high, and then I get one more chance right here, I aim ahead, but the tiger tracks him, so I'm going, oh crap, and then, you can't see because the replays just cut it off, but the tiger ends up killing him, and my shell sails high. So yeah, that's basically how that game went. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next one. See ya. I'm out.